All right, welcome everyone to Tuesday afternoon Advocate News Meeting. I'm editor and publisher Chris Cobbler. With me, as always, to my left,
I'm Becky Cooper, managing editor.
City Editor Tony Ballard is off today, preparing for the talk by Jim Lair tonight, which I'll also be attending. Somehow I could work and still go to it, but Tony needed the day off. Now he usually works the evening. I'm just teasing him. But Jim Lair, there was an afternoon talk that you missed, but don't despair if you have, because there's a reception in the plaza today, downtown, forum from about 5 to 6:30. And then there's this talk at 7:30, I believe.
And where
at
is
the Welder
that?
Center. At the Welder Center.
So it's all right there together. Okay.
So you definitely should attend. He's a, excellent speaker, wonderful journalist. Attended Victoria College, credits Victoria College for starting him on his way in his career. I'm sure we'll do the Victoria bus call that he did when he worked at the Victoria bus station. It's well worth your time to attend that tonight. So hope to see you there.
How does that call go? Do you guys know?
I don't have it memorized. I've heard it at least a couple of times, but I don't have it memorized. He's just calling out the stations from Victoria to Houston along the way. All aboard, kind of thing. So you should hear it.
Hopefully we get that on video tonight.
Yeah, we'll have to do that. So who's covering that tonight?
Amber.
All right.
And Chamberlain shooting photos. I don't know.
We'll have to let her know about that surprise thing too.
Yeah.
So I meant that. But all right. But before I'm getting through the rest of the introductions, behind the camera.
Thomas Martinez, digital editor, executive producer of the Victoria Advocate News Meeting.
He used to work for the McNabb-Lair News Report. Now he does the executive production here of our webcast. So we're honored to have him here. I thought it was the rise. I mean, really, come on, look at that now.
Millions of viewers. Yeah, I guess it's pretty cool.
Hey, well, you were on PBS before. Now you're on the World Wide Web.
True enough.
So anyway, let us know what you
that
think.
is true, by the way.
Let us know what you think of Storage working on. Any suggestions you have for Storage? We should be working on this, but we come on every weekday to hear from you, to get you warmed up on the conversation. Here's a trivia question. The popular, we're in trouble with this one already, the popular BioShock video game series is set in a world based on the political philosophies of what famous writer? I have no idea. I've never heard of the BioShock video games. Have you?
Where's JR?
Exactly.
Where is JR, our gamer columnist? Political philosophies of what famous writer? I would say Karl Marx. No. What other famous writer is there? Famous writer, political philosophies. Kurt Vonnegut?
What's that? There's a Carl Sagan.
Carl Sagan. He's an astronomer. He's
Well, it could be. That's a political writer too.
Does he have political? Well, it's a political philosophy. It could be any writer of any sort if he's got some well-known political philosophies. It might be a political writer, I guess, which is why I said Karl Marx. But it could be Ernest Hemingway, for all I know. I don't know what his political philosophy is.
Kermit the Frog.
Get it, Kermit the Frog. Was he a famous writer or no? He was a
He was
famous
famous
Muppet.
He was famous everything.
Muppet.
He was famous everything.
Snoopy. I think Snoopy.
It's a dark.
It was a dark and stormy night. I think it should be based on Snoopy. Famous writer. Any guesses, anybody?
Could be an essayist. It could be anybody.
Aristotle? No, it could be. I don't know.
We'll find out soon.
It could be
If I have any
Stephen King.
Any idea what the game was about, then you'd probably be able to guess.
BioShock. Yeah, it's got something to do with biology, right? Maybe BioShock has to do with a virus run amok. I don't know what that game has to do with. Some famous writer writing about biology. Don't know much about biology. Don't know much about the French I took. What a wonderful world it could be. Anyway. But back to the news. We have Jim Lair. That's be on the front page tomorrow. We have a crime story out of the region that we're going to get more details on before we talk a lot about it. But I should have that coming together. And We have a story about former Logan County JP municipal judge who was sentenced for embezzlement. We have a story about a search warrant for suspects in the Autumn Park vehicle fire. And we have follow up on the debates tonight. Appreciate everybody came up. There was a standing room only crowd at the mayoral debate. And that was followed by the council debate, which is what we have the story tomorrow, and the school board debate. We have to clear off some of this off the front page though, Becky. We've got also a profile on Mike Mercer running tomorrow. Was that the plan for tomorrow?
Yeah, but there's some space in there. We can probably move him off a day.
We might need to do that.
Are we gonna?
We got all three of them.
We're gonna run city council and school board on the front too, with profiles.
Probably, but the key is, whenever we pick one race on the front, we gotta do all of the candidates in that race on the front. If we decide for some reason we can't make that work, we just need to run them all on page 3 or whatever. I mean, in that particular race. So if we run Mike Mercer on front, and we've got to run Henry Wood on front, and Mr. Dave Steves, is that his name? On front.
We'll go on Mercer for a day. I'll figure out what day to put him.
Okay.
We come back with secondary leads on those, or at least the toppers on the debates.
We need to.
Yeah.
Make sure we do that.
Okay. Then we got the council meeting tonight. City council. There's going to be a discussion about a city flag and about riverside erosion. Well, we're going to plant our flag in the plaza. What's our city flag going to be? We're going to add to our board meeting soon. And of course, we've got our wildflower contests. Keep submitting those. We're getting a lot of entries, aren't we? A lot of must be good wildflower season.
We have over 25 already.
Yeah, good.
I just did a collection and teased it on social media
Okay, good.
of all the weird photos together. So
I would emphasize everybody too, if you want to know what's going on today, like I had a friend asking me about Jim Lair speaking tonight, you got to check our online events calendar or page 2 of the Advocate every day. That's the best way to keep up with the events in the community, and on social media we'll start trying to use with those events calendar the hashtag VictoriaTX to help you search and find the events. But every day on page 2 we've got a roundup of things to do. And we also have an item on
JR,
what's that? We got a
a
question.
special trivia question
Trivia
you
question,
may be able to help us with.
What is it?
The popular BioShock video game series is set in a world based on the political philosophies of what famous writer?
You heard of
No,
BioShock?
I know what it is. I've just never actually played Bioshock.
What
You
is
don't
it?
play it? What is it about?
What is it about? It's like a first-person shooter game.
The first-person shooter game? Why is it BioShock? And is it something to do with biology
What
or
was
the
it
world?
again?
The popular BioShock video game series is set in a world based on the political philosophies of what famous writer?
Is that the one that go under the sea?
No.
Nah.
But I'm
John Custa.
They're all first-person shooter games, huh?
Nowadays.
No, I'm trying to think who it is.
Something to do under the sea and
What kind of world is it?
Yeah.
No, it's like
Jules
alien.
Verne?
molecules under the.
Some dystopian society?
Yeah, it's all weird. It's
Who
kinda
writes
like
about
Fallout.
dystopian society? I don't know.
Who would it be? I don't know.
We thought maybe you'd know.
We thought since
I
you're a
wanna know the
gamer
answer, though.
expert, well,
It's
forget
not all
that.
games.
All right, then
The answer, though. Let me look it up.
you can't look it up. Well, I have the answer here.
I know, yeah, but I'm just.
I'll give the answer in a minute. Then I got a little short item on the Coast Guard releasing 2 rehabilitated sea turtles near Port Aransas. And in Good Living, we got, is it Catherine Pope or Dennis this week? Catherine, what's she have cooking?
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't read the.
Oh, no, no, yeah.
And then all our regular food items, food restaurant inspections, all the dietitian's dish, all you need to know about eating right or just eating well. And then we got the Rangers in sports, for Astros and Rangers. We got East soccer and East versus Pioneer. We got West versus Ray and District 35A golf. We'll do a March Madness feature. And let's see. And does it send a signing photo or a singing photo, depending on the type of. I want a singing
I like to
photo.
hear the singing. I like to see a singing photo.
I think that'd be good. I think that'd be good. Well, And then on the state digest, don't have the full digest, but there are a few Texas Tribune stories of interest. One being the UT system named Heather Wilson as the next UTEP president, despite objections from LGBTQ activists. And that's an interesting story, but the Texas Senate free speech proposal could force a policy change at UT Austin and other campuses. That sounds pretty interesting. And then there's a story out of Houston about artificial heart anniversary from 1969, when there was a report about implantation of artificial heart way back in '69.
Was that the first one done?
Yeah, in Houston.
Dayton Cooley.
Yeah, so that's an interesting anniversary story. Thursday is the 50th anniversary of this. It was amazing. Yeah, no, I remember when I was a kid, that was definitely big stuff. Big deal. All right. Well, to answer the trivia question, let's see if anybody's answered here. Oh, I got my video went away because I got an alert. So let's see. So if I missed your comment, I'm sorry. But leave it and I'll try to respond later. But the answer to the trivia question is, the popular Bioshock video game series is set in a world based on the political philosophies of what famous writer? And the answer is, Ayn Rand. Ayn Rand? How do you pronounce it? A-Y-N. Rand. The Bioshock, A-Y-N. I don't know, hear his name pronounced, but the Bioshock game takes place in a dystopian world. I got the dystopian world built around the principles of Rand's objectivism. I don't know. If they told me what was Pac-Man based on, I might have gotten that. No, the political philosophies of Mr. Pac-Man. Which is, the political philosophy is just devour the world around you.
And avoid the ghosts.
And avoid the ghosts. Unless there's flashing.
Yes, and then you can
get the bonus points.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the extent of my video game knowledge, alas. Yeah. I never evolved much past Pac-Man. I think I burnt myself out on Pac-Man, actually. And then I was done.
Popular game.
Certainly never got into the first-person shooter stuff, though. That never did it for me. But anyway, if you have news tips, hope to see you out at Jim Lair tonight at the Welder Center. Otherwise, Becky will be here. So give her a call at 574-1222.
If you have bad news,
Peace
wait
out.
for Tony.
Wait for Tony. Peace out.